Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. It's going to be an interesting show. We're going to try to make it short. Dylan's got a lot going on today, but we did need to touch on this. Cam Thomas offered a contract from Sean Marks and the Brooklyn Nets, 2 years, $14.1 million per. I got a couple of thoughts on this contract, but before I get into that, let me pass the ball over to Dylan here. Dylan, how's it going? And what are your thoughts on what's gone down here the last 24 hours with Cam Thomas?
I'm sick of it. You probably have seen all the Twitter rants at this point and debates I've had with people. I'm so tired of the game. I've said it for a very long time. I do not feel Cam Thomas is the guy to lead us through this organization and to the next steps, the post 7-11 era. He's learned from those two, and we all know how those two are. We can all love KD as much as we want. We could all, have that 50-50 for Kyrie all we want. Same thing for Harden. But he learned from three of the biggest divas in basketball. And what we're seeing right now is something that is, though it's some level justifiable on his end, it's also the lack of business knowledge. And I don't know if that's his agent screwing him over, if that's him overvaluing himself. But when you're currently in a market that has not offered you a contract outside of Brooklyn, in a free agency market that currently does not have money to obtain you for any form of price tag that you want, even if it was to be a contract below the MLE, there's just nothing that you can do say-wise to think that you can determine your own market. So, at this point, I'm at the point where it's take that contract that you were given or demand the trade. Just get out.
So, look, I don't disagree with any move that Cam Thomas makes right now. If Cam Thomas says, I'm going to take a 1 year, I'm going to take the 1 year option and I'm going to play the year out and I'm going to test free agency next year, I respect it. If he takes this deal, I respect it. If he says trade me, I respect it. The situation with Cam Thomas has gotten ugly for no reason, really. I mean, they don't really value him. If they don't really value him, then trade him. If they do value him, honestly, this contract's not good, and he's not going to sign it. But there's not going to be anything better out there for him this season. Would you agree with that? No one's going to offer him $14.2 million for 2 years, correct? So this is it's this or players contract. Go ahead,
I was
Dylan.
talking to myself on mute. My fault. I didn't realize.
Oh no, it's all good.
No, I was going to say at this point, this is what he's getting offered. He's not going to get anything else. You're either going to accept the qualifying offer and play, have the attitude the whole season. You're going to accept the deal that you were given and make a couple million extra, or just demand a trade. It's at that point where it is beyond obvious, and I've only said it for 2 straight years. And the fact that some people want to pretend, act like this is some blasphemy that they didn't see coming. The Nets don't value him at all. It's not even close to the Nets showing any form of value towards Cam Thomas in the long-term future. So to me, I'm not, just get rid of him. If you don't think that he's a long-term piece here, why are you going to put yourself in a position for him to come back on a qualifying offer, find no trade value in him during the season, and then lose him for nothing? Just get rid of him.
Look, I wanted to wear the Cam Thomas jersey in solidarity. I'm a Cam fan. Me personally, I want Cam here. I just don't know if that's going to happen. So if it's not going to happen, it's like if your chick is going to leave you, well, what's the best exit strategy out of here, right? This isn't something that can be saved at this point. So what's the best exit strategy? I don't think Cam's going to be.
Well, I was going to say, and that's the thing, right? I was a diehard Kyrie guy. Followed his career all the way through high school. I grew up in Jersey. I was following him since his sophomore, junior year in high school. Followed him to Duke. It's the reason I'm a Duke fan. Followed him into the NBA. Was always my favorite player. The Nets sucked for years, so I was always watching his games. When he came to Brooklyn, caused a lot of shit, and left the way that he did, since then, I have had no communication with him because some of you know from watching on previous episodes, I did run a Kyrie page that he followed, and I had, monthly communication with him. Haven't spoken to him, have not watched a game of his, do not have respect for him. Because when you leave an organization the way that you did, claiming, I'm a Jersey native, I was a Nets fan, when you do that, you're not going to get my respect as a Nets fan. And at the end of the day, if I can turn my back on a dude like that, who I had close relations with, you guys as Nets fans, if you claim to be Nets fans, can easily turn your backs on Cam Thomas. It's truly not difficult. It's always going to be about the name on the front of the jersey and not on the back, because every name on the back is always going to be replaceable, whether you like it or not. The Nets got rid of Kevin Durant, a top 15 player of all time, a top 5 player at the time, just like that. With a snap of the finger, he was gone.
They got rid of Jason Kidd, who at that time was the greatest
Cam
point guard to ever live.
Near the level.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jason Kidd changed the franchise. They were never good before Jason Kidd. They've never been bad. They've never been good after Jason Kidd, really. So this is, yeah, if Cam's got to go, and I'm not advocating for Cam to go. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, it's at that point where, like, this isn't savable. Because
here's my other biggest, I'm sorry to cut you off too, because this is just something that I've been very big on. My biggest problem with Nets fans currently is the simple fact that they're trying to compare contracts to match the value of what they believe Cam Thomas is worth. You're comparing contracts to players like Emmanuel Quickley, who has one of the worst contracts in basketball, RJ Barrett, who half of the fan base doesn't even want. Who else are we comparing to? Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, both of those contracts and players, majority of Nets fans did not want on this team, nor wanted to give them those caliber of contracts. So we're all complaining about the level of what you want to give him when you're trying to give him a duplicate copy of the contracts that we all have not liked. So the whole he deserves this, he deserves that, he doesn't deserve anything. He hasn't proven a thing. He hasn't showcased an ability to stay healthy and build a second aspect to his game at an elite level. And he has no market.
To me, the $14.1 million contract is as respectable a way of telling you we don't really like you.
Yeah, it's the full MLE. It's the full mid-level exception that the Nets have, which makes sense. Why would you offer a guy a contract that you don't feel is a long-term fit, just so this way you can financially block yourself off from being able to have maximum cap space in 2027? The signs are there. Like, it's clear as day what they're trying to do. And if you're getting in the way of that, you are going to go. They just did it with Cam Johnson, somebody who they claim to have loved. They got rid of him because, one, contract was longer than Michael Porter Jr.'s, and two, he affected too many wins last year. So if you think that Cam Thomas is not expendable at this point, you're crazy. He averages an inefficient 23.5 points per game. Anybody can do that. Watch, if Cam Thomas is gone next year, you'll see Michael Porter Jr. do the same shit.
And I agree. I said Michael Porter Jr. is going to average 24.5 points a game, and people rolled their eyes at me and said, okay, all right, let's see. Yeah.
Have you ever seen those memes of when it's like one player versus another, and it'll be like the same exact stat lines and this, and that, and it'll be like, oh, the best player of all time, he's going to be great, this, and that, and on the other side, it's like, oh, this guy sucks, get him out of here. Like, it's going to be the same thing with Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas. If Cam Thomas goes and is not on this team next year, and Michael Porter Jr. puts up the same amount of points, if not a little bit more, on similar efficiency, if not a little bit better, people will still bitch, complain, and cry that Cam Thomas is the better player.
Yeah, and look, to be fair, Michael Porter Jr. hasn't had a chance to be the number one guy. And people are going to argue that both ways. They say he played with Joker. Obviously, his numbers are going to come down. He played on this systematic offensive team that was a machine, and it was the best possible scenario. And it's a fair argument. The other going to say he played second fiddle, third fiddle, fourth fiddle, whatever you want to call it, and he never got a chance to run the offense. He's a guy that can average 25 points a game. And I think that's a fair argument too. To me, like, if you said who's a better basketball player, Michael Porter Jr. or Cam Thomas? Well, Cam Thomas is a better scorer. Michael Porter Jr.
As of right now, from what we've seen, you know what I mean?
There.
Coming out of high school and college, you could have the debate. Like, Cam Thomas is maybe a more skilled all-around scorer, but Michael Porter Jr. did it more efficiently. He had all the highlight reels and big scoring numbers in high school. Like, can you really say they're that far off? He's been in a role in Denver where he has not had the ball in his hands. So he can easily, if he's the lone guy here without Cam Thomas next year, he will easily put up the same level of production, if not better. And people are still going to find a way to complain because it's not 6'4", undersized, shit ain't funny attitude Cam Thomas. Like, it's weird, the attachment that some Nets fans get with people. Like, I had the same issue in debates a couple of years back with Joe Harris. I was one of the first people and one of the biggest names to vocally put out that I do not want Joe Harris on this team anymore. And everybody bitched and complained, saying that he's been here for so long that we love him. He can't go. He can't do this. He's not replaceable. Well, guess what? He lost you a playoff series. He was injured for another season, and
he lost you multiple playoff series. He was always horrible in the play. He's terrible, horrible in the playoffs. He's one of the worst postseason basketball players I've ever seen in my life. He did nothing productive in the postseason.
No, he's horrible. And that's the problem is, again, name on the front of the jersey versus name on the back of the jersey. Every player that walks into this door is always going to be replaceable for somebody better. That's just how it works. Until you have the number one player in basketball, you can always improve the roster with a player better. And the problem here, too, is and this is another big excuse that I saw on Twitter today from somebody who I had a lengthy debate with. And it was, well, okay, he played for a bad team. Okay, but if he's playing for a bad team, he should be putting up better numbers, right? Efficiency, I understand. Points per game, though, if you're on such a bad team, you should be putting up better points per game. Flat out. You should be able to do more. That's one. Two, there's no excuse on the player when they don't show an impact on the game. Cam Thomas's record as a starter this year was 7-16. His record overall in his career since being drafted into the NBA is 29-51. He's not a winner. I don't care what roster he has around him. Devin Booker, the year that he first made the All-Star game, which he made as a reserve for Damian Lillard, who had gotten hurt, was 2020, and their record that year was 34-39. They were the 10th seed. There was no such thing as the play-in at the time, so he was not in the playoffs. People today decided to have a nice debate with me, stating that, well, okay, Cam Thomas isn't loved because he's not on a good team that's on the playoffs. That's already been debunked numerous times with previous All-Stars. D'Angelo Russell, when he made the All-Star game for the Nets, at the time that he made the All-Star game, they were not a playoff seed. They were not the 8th seed just yet. They got that later in the season. Same case with Devin Booker. Wasn't on a winning team or a playoff team, but still made the All-Star game. Like, these aren't excuses. You have to stop making excuses for people who are not good enough to be stars yet.
No, look, Cam Thomas is not going to be a perennial all-star. Like, can he have a season where he's average is 26, 27 points a game and they put him on the all-star game? Sure, it could happen, right? Like, that's sure, it could happen. But, yeah, he's not a star. He's not a star in terms of impact. And Cam Thomas fans, which I'm one of, but for a lot of Cam Thomas fans, have trouble dissecting that.
Yeah, Cam Thomas fans as of right now is like radical left versus right. Like, it's pathetic. It's getting to a point where, like, you have to come to reality at some point. There's no reason as to why some people feel entitled to thinking that this guy is going to be something that he's not. Like somebody had sent me a screenshot today on Twitter. Oh, his assists per game per 36 went up a singular assist last season. That's improvement. No, it's not. Minimal improvement.
Like, this is what I'm saying. Yes. Did his defense get better? Sure. Did his playmaking get better? Sure. Is he a good playmaker at the NBA level? No. Is he a good defender at the NBA level? No. So stop saying he got better. I used to have this debate with people with Zach Wilson all the time. Zach Wilson's getting better. Okay.
Player one making my point again. He said Tyler Hero was an all-star this past season on the Heat, which was a horrible team. CT just isn't good enough. I agree. Like, it's like people think that it's hate, but there's a difference between hate and realism. And when I'm giving you facts on how a player is not good enough to reach a certain point in his career just yet, if ever, you can't tell me that I'm wrong. The evidence is right there in your face. 22 games this past season and 3.5 years of being on the Nets prior to that. He has not shown that he's the guy. He was the 27th overall pick. You people are putting an overly horrible expectation on his career path. And you set him up for failure already. Because now not only you, but him are thinking that this is the guy that's going to run this franchise. He's not.
To be fair, we view Cam Thomas the same way that we view Trey Johnson the same, who I also love Trey Johnson. I just didn't want him on my team, right? Yeah. Like, there are other people, like the Washington Wizards, for example, who assess Trey Johnson a lot higher than we do, right? We looked at Trey Johnson, we're like, okay, he can score. Washington, I don't want him at 8. Washington's like, we'll take him at 6. Thank God.
We thought thank God until New Orleans took fears.
Yeah, I know.
That was painful, man.
When Kneppel went at 4, like,
To experience that in person where Fears
Yeah.
went to pick before us, that hurts because I'm going to come
It's-
back in 4 years and laugh at people when he's the next Damian Lillard because he's that good. Fears was the guy that I wanted really badly.
Yeah, and it just sucks that we couldn't trade up. And we can spend some time on that. I want to do an episode on Sean Marks' hot seat. How hot is it? I mean, did he buy himself time with this? Did he buy himself an extra year because he's going to say, "I got 5 rookies. What did you expect? I need time." That deserves a whole conversation, right? But my point was, there are people that are going to view Trey Johnson a lot higher than Dylan and I do, and there is Washington, for example. Is there anyone out there that's going to view Cam Thomas the same way that Washington values Trey Johnson? Like, okay, yeah, no, this actually is a very valuable piece that we need.
On an MLE deal, yeah. On 25 plus million, like he thinks he deserves? Hell no. And that's my point. Like, realistically,
yeah.
I think Memphis, Detroit, and maybe Sacramento would be 3 teams that actually, and maybe Milwaukee because his agent is Giannis's. Those are probably the only 4 teams that I could see actually showing any form of interest in him realistically based on some of the packages they have around him. Milwaukee is much harder because they just don't have anything to give up. But if an agent wants his player to play somewhere and if the player demands to play somewhere, you'll figure out a way to make it work. To me, I think Memphis is an incredible offer. I think you can get John Conchar, who is no good name whatsoever, but he's on a 2-year deal worth like $6.1 million. And I think you can also get Gigi Jackson out of that deal. So to me, the 2 packages that I'm looking at is Jaden Ivey in a top 8 protected 2026 first from Detroit for Jalen Wilson and Cam Thomas, or John Conchar, Gigi Jackson, a future first-round pick that's lottery protected. Let's just say the 2026 Memphis pick, and a future first-round pick swap for Jalen Wilson and Cam Thomas.
I want to spend an entire episode where we have more time on where Cam Thomas may end up, because I've been saying this for a while, and some people have been saying I'm crazy that Cam Thomas will not be on the roster opening day. I've said that. I'm not 100% convinced of it, but I thought there was a very good chance that Cam Thomas will not be on the opening day roster. And I want to spend a full episode breaking that down on where Cam Thomas would go and what that would look like and what we would get in return.
Yeah.
But right now, to me, the $14.1 million 2-year, the only disrespectful part to me on that contract is the 3rd-year team option.
No, it's 2nd-year team option.
Oh, was it a second? I thought it was a 3rd year.
So it's practically a 1-year deal.
Well, yeah, it's a 1-year deal that becomes very tradable. Okay.
Well, see, here's my problem with it, though, right? And again, it makes no sense on Thomas's part, which is why either he's an idiot or his agent sucks. There's no in between. How are you going to decline a $2 to $4 million annual increase if you take that team option deal? Because I'm pretty sure his qualifying offer is like somewhere between 9 to 12 million. Let's just say it is 12 and you're offered 14.1. You could be making an extra $2.1 million that year just for the team to opt out of you, and you can still become an unrestricted free agent in 2026. So you're missing out on an extra $2 million, potentially $5 million, because you think you deserve something that you don't. And you're going to take a qualifying offer making less money just so you can still leave an unrestricted free agency the following year. Like, just get him off the team.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you this, though. The last year on his contract, they had offered him a similar Jalen Brunson, a smaller deal, which he didn't want to take, right? And then he played himself into the contract he got with the Knicks, and then now he's played himself into one of the best players in the league. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Cam Thomas is going to do that, but that's the confidence he has in himself. Like, would you agree with me that Cam Thomas is not going to accept this deal? He's not going to sign this 2-year, $14.1 million per year deal, correct? He's not going to sign it?
No.
Okay, good. I'm glad we agree. If he thinks I'm going to just take the qualifying offer and I'm going to play myself into a $30 million a year contract, by all means, do it. Like, I mean, that's your right. If you have that kind of confidence in yourself, do it. Maybe someone out there will give it to you. But then that puts us. Would you agree with that? I mean, just from Cam Thomas's perspective, he believes he can go out there and next year play himself into a $30 million contract, play himself into a much bigger contract, the way that Brunson did when his last year in Dallas. you'd be fine with that. Right? I mean, logically, that's a fine position to take. Whether or not it works out is different.
No, definitely. I mean, again, we're gonna have these back and forth conversations all summer long until he figures his shit out. But one thing that has come out is that he may be the first player to accept that qualifying offer. I saw that earlier today from Brett Siegel, that Thomas is the most likely out of the 4 major restricted free agents to be thinking about accepting that qualifying offer. So even if so, you have him back on a 1-year deal. What do you do with him? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not taking that risk.
He's got to be traded. Like, he's not a part of the long-term plan. I've been trying to red pill people on this, and like, not you, them out there. They don't want to take the red pill here. It's like, he's not going to be a part of this team. When the Brooklyn Nets are good, whatever that happens, whether that's 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 100 years from now, Cam Thomas, who I love, whose jersey I'm wearing, is not going to be on this team. Sorry to break it.
You got to stop buying jerseys, dude.
both of them are okay. But when D'Lo came back, I was so psyched because I took it out of retirement. Now I'm gonna hang the D'Lo jersey in the rafters. I'm gonna hang it in my game room upstairs. It's gonna get hung in the rafters forever. But
I'm sorry. Lou is your guy, right?
What was that?
Lou is your guy, right?
Lou is our guy.
Lou, I gotta ask at this point: are you a Cam Thomas fan, or just are you a Nets fan? This is crazy because I've seen Lou in some of my comments on Twitter. I'm seeing we're gonna free up cap space for next year, and no one is gonna want to play for us because of how we treat our players. It's a fucking business. If you do not have offers on the table, if teams do not have cap space available, and no team is willing to trade for the player, then you have no market. It's literally basic sales and negotiation.
I want to put this out there. We can match any offer that Cam Thomas signs, right? Any offer sheet that Cam Thomas signs, we can match that offer, correct? And he stays with us, correct?
I see, Lou. Yeah, I think so. Well, one thing too, real quickly before you finish that, is another one that I saw from him was, where is this? He goes, if I'm Cam Thomas, I'm not agreeing to any signing trade. Good, don't. Play out your qualifying offer until the day before the trade deadline, and we'll ship your ass out to the worst team possible. That's how I would be as a business owner.
Cam Thomas wants to play himself into a contract. He wants to get generational money that changes his life. Like, he has to ball. It's that if you want out of Brooklyn, you know what you should do? Ball. If you want to stay with Brooklyn, you know what you should do? Ball. Like that's your only option here, is just be so good at your job that everybody wants you. And then you can pick where you want to go. If you want to stay with Brooklyn, which I doubt, stay with Brooklyn. If you want to go sign somewhere else, go sign somewhere else. But the only way you can do that is to ball. So just shut up and average 30 a game and shoot the lights out.
Careful. You may get the, oh my God, are you saying shut up and dribble?
Actually?
Yeah.
Actually. I kind of am, yeah.
It's crazy, man. The amount of people that complain about that shit is so funny. Like, yeah, you know what? I actually am telling you. Stop saying stupid shit on social media. Stop acting like an idiot, and just play the game of basketball, because we're trying to win basketball games here. It's the same thing with Kyrie when he was here.
I want to address this comment. You can be replaced from ice here, the tip off. You can be replaced, and doesn't mean you're going to be replaced with someone better. No, I agree, but let me rebuttal that a little bit. You're correct. That logically that follows. But we're not winning, and they don't want him here, right? So, like, what are we actually replacing? A guy that's going to score a bunch of points on a team that's going to lose? Like, you could actually replace that. Maybe he doesn't do it as well as
you can easily replace that.
He's not adding much value, is my point.
My thing is right now is if he accepts the qualifying offer, I'm immediately going to Memphis, because the qualifying offer, it will perfectly align with the contract that I mentioned, which is the John Conchar, Gigi Jackson, and a first-round pick. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Here's my issue with that, though. Not from our perspective. I mean, I don't want to do it, but he's not a part of the future, so you got to move him. So I would make the trade. If you're Memphis, you're going to pair him, who's injury prone and can't defend, with Ja, who's injury prone and can't defend? Or does
Ja can defend. Ja can defend. He's not like
He can.
all-star caliber defender, but he's
Let me
a
push
very
back.
solid. Yeah, he's a very solid defender. He's probably one of the better undersized point guard defenders in the league.
Let me an undersized guard who can't defend twos. Yeah. With an undersized guard who can't defend twos. You're right. He can defend point guards. He can. You're right. But he can't defend twos. So you're going to put him in a backcourt with Cam Thomas?
Listen, it may be what they're thinking of doing, because also think about it. Memphis may not view Ja any longer as the guy long term, right? So it's like, do you want to start getting younger now to where you have a Cam Thomas, Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson trio, to where when you ship out Ja, you build a better roster around those three? You never know. But Memphis does make sense. They just got rid of Bane. They have an excess of draft capital that they got from that. They can maybe buy low on Thomas now to see what he can become. It's not a horrible idea. Like, to me, I think that one makes a lot of sense. GG is definitely up for trade, by the way. Not as in like something immediate, but if a package comes where they can get a player, he can easily go. He's on an expiring contract. He's due for a rookie extension, and they haven't been properly utilizing him. I saw Memphis fans left and right stating that they think that he should be traded to better his career.
You're talking about Gigi. I got distracted for a second. You're talking about trading Gigi? Is that what you're talking about, Dylan? The Memphis trading Gigi?
Yeah, no, I definitely think Memphis would trade him, because I've seen, I posted it the other day that, and I had a couple of Memphis fans coming and commenting saying like, oh, like that'd be such a good fit for him. They should trade him. We're not using him properly. His value, his development, it's not being utilized. Like, Memphis fans think it's probably best for him to get traded too. So who knows what they're doing right now? But if you're looking at what they currently have going on, they have a lot of wing depth. They really don't need a wing like Gigi at the moment. It's probably just best to move on at some point. So if you can get Cam Thomas at $9 million a year for John Conchar, Gigi Jackson, and a first-round pick, you probably do it.
I don't mind that, but I had a different trade in mind.
Hi, Leaf.
What's going on, Dylan? Oh, it's just somebody got
an echo, Leaf.
I do. Hold on.
Go ahead, LBL.
Oh,
is that my echo? Who's got
the
echo? Hang on. Echo? LBL's got the echo.
Oh, it is.
LBL, come on in, come out. Refresh, see if that helps. You got an echo.
Okay. I'm still echoing.
Oh, no, it sounds good now.
You're good now. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be good. Yeah, my bad. Listen, I don't mind a trade. You said Memphis, so I don't mind a trade. It's just that I had something else in mind.
Yeah, you want to do Cam Thomas for Zach Edey straight?
I've been wanting to do Claxton. For Zach Edey straight, bro. I still do.
I thought it was Cam Thomas for Edey.
No, not Cam Thomas. No, I wanted to do Claxton for Zach Edey straight, bro. Like if that's a possibility, we probably gonna have to add the money. So that means we'll probably have to get the KCP contract, which is only 2 years left on the deal. So.
I mean, am I crazy for saying I wouldn't mind that? If you do KCP and Zach Edey plus a first round or 2 first-round picks for Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton, am I crazy? Like, I wouldn't hate that.
Cam Thomas and Claxton.
Give me Memphis's top 10 protected first-round pick this year, and give me a first-round pick swap in the future, plus Edey, Gigi Jackson, and KCP.
No, you're not crazy for that. I would enjoy that.
I would do it. I don't like Zach Edey. I don't think he's going to be special, but I would do it.
Oh, Zach Edey is basketball royalty. He's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
Zach Edey's gonna be better than LeBron, right?
Zach Edey is gonna be he's probably gonna be the greatest athlete to ever walk this earth, bro. Like I'm telling you. Like, but I swear to that, bro. Like I'm telling you, the second that he starts averaging 20 and 15, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not.
No, you're going to say something. Stop it. And it's not going to happen. That's why you're not going to say something. But
you should. The best part of being right is getting to say something after you're correct, right? Like, that's the best part of being right.
The thing is, I think, like, because 20 and 15 in the role that he's going to be in if they start the season this year, bro, like, it's just going to be to me, it's going to be evident, bro, because he's probably going to be the number 2 option on that team, barring the fact that Triple J is out with turf toe, and now Desmond Bain is on Orlando, so he's most likely going to be the second option on the team. So like, it's almost evident that Zach Edey is destined for greatness, bro. Like it's almost, bro. Like I'm like if anything higher than that, bro, like he's exceeding every expectation that there is to me. But yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind that trade, but. I think if he does anything higher than 20 and 15, he's exceeding.
what was it? What were his numbers this year? No, this
His
year.
rookie
No,
numbers.
this year.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up.
This
Hmm.
past season, I think he was like 10 points, like 8 rebounds on 20 something minutes a game. Like
I don't
because
think he even cracked 10 if I'm being honest. Let me
he
check.
probably was at 9.5.
Yeah, 9.6, 7.5 rebounds, point
Yeah,
0.9
yeah. So I'm
blocks.
rounding up. Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he
So
still got a way to go.
he definitely still got a way to go. But like being the position that he's in right now, with all the injuries with the injury to Triple J and Desmond Bain gone, bro. Like I think it's most likely he's going to be the second option on the team. With him and John Morant is going to be running pick and roll all day. So that shit is just going to be automatic to me. Like
Well,
I don't
well,
really,
well, for me, I see GG Jackson as, to me, he's got way more potential than Cam Thomas to me. So I don't know why they would make that move.
GG Jackson is what 19? He's 20. Is he 19, 20?
Something like that.
GG is, let's see,
He's 20
hold
probably.
up. I think he's 20 at this point. Let's see.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
born in
he's 20.
2004. Yeah. He's 20. So I mean, GG Jackson. I think
He
like
doesn't even
I,
turn
I
21 until October 29th, right around the
which is
time of the,
crazy, bro. Like,
yeah.
and he's already been in the league 2 years.
Oh shit, I
I,
didn't know he's from Columbia, South Carolina. He went to high school around here. It's
yes,
only like
he
25
did.
minutes. Yeah,
Yes, he
interesting.
did. So I mean, GG Jackson
But
could definitely.
I don't see the point of why they give up on him.
I don't know,
I just don't
man.
think they've utilized him properly over the years. Like,
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
think.
they hadn't when Bane was there, but now that Bane is gone, it's like the two
but the
spot
problem
should be
is they just,
his.
yeah. See, the problem is though is it's like if you're looking at their rotation fully healthy, right? You have, let's see, you would have Ja, KCP, Jaren
Mhm.
Jackson, Santi Aldama, Zach Edey, Brandon Clark, Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen Jr., Jalen Wells. That's already a 10-man rotation.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to find. And Jalen Wells is a 6'7" guard that can also play the wing. He kind of takes up what Gigi was doing. So at this point, it seems like his development over in Memphis is probably a bit less than what they focused on in the past. So to me, I think one of Gigi or Vince Williams becomes expendable. I think Vince
Right.
Williams at his age is a little bit more win now ready to play
Right.
alongside that team if they are still looking to contend. So it probably makes the most sense to add Gigi to a package with KCP to move on for somebody else at some point.
Well,
I
for
mean,
me, I feel like
if they package the Zach Edey, bro, like they looking to probably fold it in for the 1 year, and then they gonna do the same thing they did when Ja Morant was had the 25 game suspension, and then try to get a top 10 pick, which is one of the reasons why they got Zach Edey in the first place. So if Pix is in that deal, if Pix is in that proposed trade that you just was talking about, then they're gonna have to go and win now, Mo. And Triple J is gonna have to Triple
See,
J and Ja
the
Morant.
problem though is that you're gonna have to pick between Gigi or Edie because they're gonna want to give up John Conchar and KCP in any trade.
Hmm.
And to me, I'm taking Gigi. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But you already got Sharp, you already got Danny Wolf. You got to see what those two young guys can do. The position of need at the youth side is more of a wing spot.
more
So
of a
to
wing
me,
spot. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like to me, if you're doing a package that consists of what is it, Claxton, Cam Thomas. Let's see. I'm gonna say, let's see. Does this work financially? No,
What you doing now? Fans
but
ball?
this is
yeah. Actually, your luck may be in play because they. So if the Nets were to give up, I did Trey Mann for this instance because I think it would be a similar contract to
mhm.
what Thomas gets, 15.5 million. So say
Right.
it's 15 million plus Claxton for GG Jackson, John Conchar, and KCP. Grizzlies would still have to give up 3 million. So maybe you're in luck. Maybe
But
Yes.
they
how
add
does
maybe
that?
they add AD
But
to it.
but that seems awfully Leaf biased, just in terms of how does that make Memphis better?
Well, we were talking about that earlier. I mean, I don't think that trade's realistic whatsoever to begin with. I think if they're going to do a trade for Thomas, it's just straight up going to be Conchar and Gigi Jackson plus a first, and that's if he accepts the qualifying offer. Because if he does, it's going to be between 9 to 12 million a year. So, like, financially, it
Yeah,
makes sense for
I
Memphis.
don't even see us getting a first out of that. Really,
I don't think it's
is it
unprotected.
because
I don't think it's
Conchar's?
unprotected.
Oh,
I think it would be like top 10 lottery protected, somewhere in that range, if not just a first round pick swap. But regardless, I think the offer that I put out, that I have an article coming out later today, is Conchar, Gigi Jackson, a 2026 lottery protected first, and then a future first round pick swap with the most favorable one going to Brooklyn. So, like, let's say Memphis bottoms out and then gets to keep that lottery pick.
you
The Nets
don't
still
think
at least have a
that's
swap.
too much? I mean, to me, it's like, why would they throw in like Gigi Jackson is the future, so why would they throw in a pick as well?
Oh, I don't think he's the future at this point. If he was the future, he'd be
I mean,
getting starting minutes.
No, he's not the future. He may
of
not be the
Memphis,
future there, but I'm
right?
saying he's like getting a first round draft pick.
I mean,
I mean,
realistically, if you compare the production of Conchar and Gigi compared to Cam's probably
Yeah, but we
double and a
know,
half the
but
players of those two combined currently. So you got to think they got to throw in something else to get them. You know?
pleasure.
I don't think he's that in demand right now. I mean, everybody would snatch him if he was free, Cam Thomas, but I don't think
I don't
that.
even think teams would be doing that.
Yeah,
Like, are you talking
Right.
free as in like free $99, $0 paid, or are you talking like unrestricted free agent? We can offer him whatever we want to get him.
yeah.
Because
I
even if
think
he was an
this is
unrestricted
gonna.
free agent,
I
he'd
mean, he
still
is a
probably be
second. He
bagging
is
some
a
money.
second round pick. So I mean, like Gigi Jackson
Who
is a
is?
second round.
Yeah,
Gigi
yeah.
Jackson is a second round pick. So I mean, it would be a lot to our benefit if we can get him. But I like in this proposed trade, and with the 3 million that we could still try to match. I think Zach Edey will plug in perfectly for that. Just cause,
Uh,
bro. Like I mean, like if we trying to give up Claxton in the deal, bro, he'll plug in perfectly to me.
this
So
this whole stalemate. This is an indictment of Sean Marks' GM. You know, his whole GM performance. This
yes, it
whole
is.
this whole thing is an indictment of it because he could have handled this much earlier by either just letting them go, or he could have just handled it earlier by signing them. I'm
I
saying because I'm
I I agree
sure
with that. I agree with that 100%. I
it's
mean,
like when you make all this public posturing and stuff, and now you're basically telling them, man, you're not even worth like 8 million a year from us. You know,
which is
it's like
crazy to me. I'm like I'm like
it's
not being worth 8 million, bro. Like that's wild disrespect. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like I'm not. Listen, I'm not the biggest advocate.
But hang
Of,
on, hang on, hang on 1 second. Dylan, I know you gotta jump off real quick. When can you go live again? I want to spend more time on where we can ship Cam Thomas. Like where's a realistic place and what that would look like in return for us. When can you go live next?
Let's see, either tomorrow night or the day after, around 1 p.m.
Is tomorrow
it's a
night work for
Sunday.
you? Sunday?
You said tomorrow. You said tomorrow
Tomorrow?
night.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
Tomorrow night
Sunday.
should work.
Tomorrow's Saturday.
tomorrow
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
You want to shoot for that?
Yeah, let me update you tomorrow morning. I'll see what
All
I
right,
got going on, but I should be able to.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. You got anything you want to close out with, Dylan? I know you got to run. I'm going to stay on with LB and Leaf.
Yeah, sounds good. No, feel free to follow me on Nets Press on Instagram. You guys already know. Make sure to subscribe here if you are new. And yeah, hopefully this whole problem gets figured out. But I'm not changing my view. If you want to overvalue yourself and act like a scumbag, you can get traded. Doesn't hurt my feelings. So.
All right. Appreciate you.
Later, fellas.
We'll connect
All
tomorrow
right,
night.
bro.
Hopefully
So
we'll be
long.
live again
Sounds
Don't
good,
tomorrow.
fill
man.
me in. Don't fill
All
me
right.
in on this.
Yep.
I want to address that, right? Because I don't
All
have a
right.
problem with what Cam Thomas is
I'm-
doing. They just aren't going to sign him to anything more than the 14 million, right? Like,
Yeah.
if Cam Thomas thinks he's worth more, he's worth more. Then that's what he thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
but they're not going to offer him anymore, and neither is anybody
yeah.
else. So you can do
It
what you
won't
want.
resolve anything.
I got
Yeah.
It
it. I
won't
got working
resolve
5,
anything.
so I had out like 430, 445. Something like
It won't resolve anything. I
that.
know that. That's what
That,
you're saying, right? No matter what he wants, that
Yeah.
doesn't
It's
change
not gonna.
anything.
Yeah, I want $100 million too. Okay. You know. All right. Cool.
I could use 100 mil. I ain't gonna lie to you. I could definitely use that, man. Shit, like she.
but it definitely, I think it still definitely reflects, the performance of our GM, because really this should have never been an issue,
Shouldn't have at all.
you know,
I
because
definitely agreed.
I'll take the bullet and say maybe I'll be wrong later, but I mean maybe I'm wrong now, but I'm not sure. But to me, I don't think there's any way that he actually thought he was getting 30 mil once these other deals came up. Like say once the deal for what's his name, the kid on Houston, like once he saw what
Jalen.
Yeah,
No.
once he saw what Jabari Smith got, once he saw what Miles Turner got, and
And a
once
lot
he
of
saw
players in that draft, yeah, a lot of players
once he
in the draft
saw
When you
draft
look
after.
back and you see what Jalen Green got, when you see what Emmanuel quickly got, and you see all of this, and Cam Thomas considers himself better than all those guys, why would he not ask for more? I'm not saying he's going to get it, but wouldn't that be a common sense ask if you're Cam Thomas? I'm better than Jalen Green. I'm better than Emmanuel quickly.
Well, I think at this time though, his agent, being who his agent is, whoever it is, I'm saying you got to tell him, look, the whole landscape has changed because Miles Turner would have got more than Emmanuel quickly. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he would have got more than
He would
him
have got more if
because
he
he's a
stayed in
veteran
Indiana.
and he's full and
He would have
he's
got more.
proven.
He would have got more if he stayed in Indiana because of the playoff boost and everything. And
But
I think
some
he
of
would have
these
got
guys, there's
2
some of
years.
these guys. Well, let's look at this. Some of these guys, it is a gamble because when what's his name got his money, when Jalen Green got his money, and I know you talked all about him yesterday or whatever, but Jalen Green got his money. It's like to me that was an overpay. I can't see Suggs getting his money. Suggs, I'm like, what has he done so far in the NBA that he deserves the money that he's
Suggs
getting?
made all NBA, he made all defensive team. So he gonna get paid. So Suggs is gonna get paid. He made all defensive team.
I mean, freaking Keon Johnson, you keep putting him out there. You could make all defensive team.
No,
What has he
no, he
done?
cannot. No, he cannot.
No, I'm saying, what has Suggs done though?
He made an all defensive team and they went to the playoffs.
Oh
Like and he made
wow.
an all rookie team.
What
If I'm
would
not
you
Wow.
mistaken,
guys?
yeah.
What would you guys if you were Sean Marks? What would you offer Cam Thomas
I
that
was
you
giving.
think that he might take?
I
For
was giving
me,
20.
for me, whatever the amount is, because I think they said we have like between 17 and 22, right? Something
Yeah.
like that. I would have given them like at this point, I'd given them 2 years, 40, or 3 years, or even three
I'd have gave him.
years
I'd
close
have
to
gave him for
60.
3 years. I'd have gave him 3 years 60, 4 years 80.
Does he take that though? I'm being. We know you guys
Now to
agree.
me, the shorter one he will take
Yeah.
because he doesn't know yet who has money next year.
Right.
But he's gotta play him. See, for him, the main thing that he's gotta worry about is actually getting playing time. Because, and that's the thing that I always worry about being, my own history. I say you gotta be careful about, like if he signs with them, they could decide, you know what, we're gonna phase him out and make him worth
Right.
even less. But like that's with the 1 year deal. I'm saying, like if he just takes the qualifying offer, they could say, you know
Which is
what?
$6
Why
million.
are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but why? And then they're gonna be like, why are we wasting time with this guy? Let's just bring up Saraf. Let's play these guys that we know we want to try to have for our future, and we're tanking
Listen to what
anyway.
you're saying. Listen to what you're saying.
Yes.
And we'll get back to that tank. We're not gonna keep Cam Thomas to play Ben Saraf. Like, mean, come on, Lee. Come on, Albert. Ben Saram, this is what we're doing?
No, what I'm saying is not necessarily him, but what I'm saying is they're going back into the type of, it can't just be a money issue, right? It can't be just a money issue because if the guy said everything, if Cam Thomas came in, we were at this point last year where you and I and maybe Dylan or a couple of others, maybe Leaf or a couple others were saying that he's not a good fit on this team. And that was before we got these point guards, remember? That was
Yeah.
before we even got, the rookie point guards. But we were saying Cam Thomas he really fits best as like a 6-man off the bench. And everybody was like, no, 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 right? So we went through this all last year. But so now what I'm saying is at this point, he's got to be careful if he takes that 1-year offer and they just say, you know what? Let's start the rebuilding. Why are we waiting for him to have whatever kind of shitty year he's going to have while we're having our year? Let's just go ahead and start our program right now. And the thing that gets me that I want to incorporate into this, Gary, is the coach was saying, "Oh, I like Cam Thomas. I love, I love his ability to score and everything. We just want him to become more efficient." So now you haven't had a full season of him, but you've had that season of him being hurt or whatever. But what has changed so much about Jordy Fernandez that now all of a sudden he's worthless to him?
Well, I don't think he ever valued him. I mean,
That's
look,
what I'm
they
saying.
don't
All
have,
that
they
was a
don't have,
lie,
they
right?
don't have any other options, right? So, okay, Cam Thomas gets the ball, but as soon as we have another option, Ice, what's up, my man?
So all that was a lie then, right?
Well, it's
All
not.
that
I
was
mean,
just talk. It was just talk.
okay, it was maybe. I mean, you can view it that way for sure, like for sure. But this is what I was saying. Like, I don't see a trade market out there. If you think you can trade him to Memphis, and me and Dylan are gonna break this down,
Yeah.
hopefully tomorrow or the next day. I don't think there's a trade market for him at $15 million a year, right? So I don't even know how you're gonna trade him. To be fair,
The best trade I heard was Jaden Ivey, but I was looking for a
does
pick
Detroit
and
want?
that.
I mean, yeah, I agree. If that's
Yeah,
an
and that's
offer,
what
do it.
and
But
that's
does
another
Detroit
deal.
want that?
Ivy's, I don't know, you're gonna make other fans get mad at me, but I'm like, freaking Ivy is the better piece in that trade.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if Detroit wants to make that trade. It's like, I don't know it's going to be that easy to trade this guy. That's why I was suggesting let him walk. Let him walk and take the money. You got 29. You have 29 million after you take the cap hold up for Cam Thomas.
Me personally, you know what
Give
I
it to
was
Kuminga.
thinking?
Give the 29 million to Kuminga.
29. I don't know about that, but like
Oh man,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
They don't want to. Breezy.
no.
Breezy, let me bring Breezy. I'll get back to you, but let me because I want to do this with Breezy and I want to get ice in too, and Priest. What up, y'all? Breezy,
What up?
you're the resident Cam Thomas fan. Yeah, we all love Cam Thomas. I'm rocking the Cam Thomas jersey to show support. I want Cam Thomas to be here. That being said, Sean Marks doesn't. So where do we go from here?
I mean, to replace his shot creation, you don't get it from Jaden Ivey. I don't have a knock on Jaden Ivey. All I said was Jaden Ivey is a great player, but he's going to take the ball out of Jaeger and Nolan Traore's hands. That's a fact. You look at his stats; he's averaging almost 6, north of 5 assists. So that means he gotta have the ball in his hands the way his style of play. I'm saying, y'all saying, LBL said last season that, you know what I mean, Cam Thomas didn't fit the team. I'm saying that Ivy, he's a great player. Even if you think he is the better piece, I'm not here to debate that. But to say that he's the better fit next to these rookies, I disagree. And that's because of his assist stat. You know what I'm saying? Somebody getting more than 5 assists a game, he's going to need the ball in his hands. And to
Not
the point
really.
of him
Not
leaving,
really.
okay. And to the point of him leaving Detroit need him even more than ever now. You know what I'm saying? Because Beasley is not there for the scoring. So he's going to have to take care of Jaden, his scoring load, and Beasley's scoring load. So I'm not sure how fast the Pistons are coming off a Jaden Ivey. Because if Jaden Ivey don't get hurt, I think they get past the Knicks. That's my opinion.
I agree, but
I can't prove that. But
they lack scoring. They do. and Cam's a better scorer. That's one. And two, they've shown interest in Cam Thomas in the past. So, like, it's not out of, I don't know if they'd make the trade. I'm just saying it's not out of left field, this trade. Like, it wasn't, it's not, you know what I'm saying?
You about to pair Cam
Yeah.
Thomas with Kay Cunningham, bro. Like, to me personally, bro, like, I don't think there's a fall off from scoring, bro, because Kay Cunningham is basically a do it all type of player, and now you putting
And he
Cam Thomas.
defends.
And he defends, yeah. In that, and some, and that, like you just said, Priest, he's a do it all type of point guard, do it all type of player. And you put Cam Thomas with that. To me, his job is easy. Like, we got to just figure out what we doing, whether we got Cam Thomas or not. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I listen. I wasn't on board with the trade or whatever, bro. If they gonna make the trade, make it, bro. Like, but it seemed like they wasting time, bro. Like, it's somebody need to get on the unemployment line, bro, for real, because this shit is taking too damn long, and I don't like it. And I ain't nobody been liking the moves that's been made thus far anyway. So it's time, bro. It's time for something to shake, and it's time for something to shake now. Like, if you gonna make a move on Cam Thomas, make the move. But if you not, then let him go. Do something. Like, stop wasting time, bro. Like, you out here bullshitting.
I want to get Ice in here too. I haven't heard from Ice. I want to hear from Priest too. Ice, 2 years, 14.1 million. I don't think anyone thinks Cam's going to sign that. So, what are your thoughts on what the Nets should? Well, do you think he's going to sign that? And if not, what do the Nets do from here with Cam Thomas?
No, I don't think he's going to sign it. I think that was the first offer. I don't think they got past that yet. And I think what every team is going to do, not just the Nets. I think Chicago and Golden State are all going to wait to see who signs the first contract, and whoever signs the first contract, that sets the market for those type of guys. And the reason why everybody keeps saying Sean Marks and all the other teams have the same problem, even the guys in free agency, is that the market for them is none. So whoever signs that first contract, that sets the market for those type of guys, whether it's 20 mil, whether it's 14 mil, whether it's 15, 16, whatever, whoever signs first, that sets the market for them. So it's not a Sean Marks or Golden State or Chicago thing. It's an NBA thing. You know what I mean? So just like when
I
Cam
agree.
got their contract, everyone follows after that. Okay, if he gets this contract, then I can get this. I can ask for this, or I get lower, or I get a little bit higher. Yeah, I get a
Ice,
little more. You know what I mean?
Ice. Can I make one distinction between them?
Go ahead.
The one distinction I'm going to make between those teams, well, especially like Golden State, is that Golden State has already proven that they could win with some effort from Kuminga. You know, like, whereas they're not in the same position as the tanking Nets or the rebuilding Bulls.
LB, it doesn't matter. They're all in the same category. They all have the issue. They're middle tier guys with no market. The NBA doesn't have a market for them. So, like I'm saying, that doesn't matter at the end of the day. They all in the Cam and Kuminga is damn near in the same position. You know what I'm saying? Josh Giddey's a little bit different, but the point is they don't have a number. What is the number for them? That's the problem. What is the number for those guys? No one, the NBA hasn't given a number. You know what I'm saying? There is no guy that signed before them that's like in the same category as them and like, okay, that's the number for you. You know what I mean? So if Cam signs 14, then Josh might ask for 15. Kuminga might ask for 16, something like that. The trickle effect is going to happen when one of them signs that contract.
So would you characterize them as starting players but not stars?
Yes, depending on what team they are. Yeah. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, because you have to have they have to have something in common besides that they're RFAs. They are RFAs, but some people get deals done and some people don't. But I guess with these, one thing they all have in common is they're all very young.
Priest,
they're
have we
all
heard from
waiting.
you?
Yeah,
Have we
23.
heard them?
23.
Have we heard from Priest on this yet? Priest, I want to get you in too. I don't think we heard from you yet.
Nah, yeah, I've been listening. I think if we talking about those three players, um, I think Giddy might have more value. because of his playmaking and all that stuff, and how he played last year.
Isn't
Kaminga,
Giddy and isn't Giddy and Yegor like? Isn't Yegor's upside Giddy? You know what I'm saying? Like I like Giddy to a degree. I do. I think he's a good player, but like, don't they fill the same space potentially?
I
Like,
think kind of, yeah.
yeah,
Giddy and Jaeger are very similar, but you've seen Giddy perform at a high level in the NBA.
yeah.
Next to Shea or next to the I forget the guard name that Chicago has. So you've seen Giddy perform at a high level in winning situations and in the Chicago situation. So yeah, they're very similar. So but we don't know what Jaeger will end up being. I think Kuminga probably has the highest talent upside per around the league. So if you was talking about say Cam signed a 2-year, $14 million, there's no way in hell that Golden State would think Kuminga would sign a deal like that. No way in hell. Kuminga in his mind is a star player. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. So let me ask you. I want to take the $29 million that we'd have under the cap. Not sign. Well, that's not what I want to do, but we're not going to keep Cam Thomas. And the only way that we can get Kuminga is to give him Cam Thomas's money. So I'd give him the $29 million a year to get Kuminga, because I don't think we're bringing Cam Thomas back regardless. I've been on this for like a week now. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you that I don't know if Sean Marks has any type of want as far as Cam Thomas is concerned. I agree with you. I don't know if, and this is just based off of Sean Marks' actions. I don't know if he sees Cam Thomas as being a future pillar on his roster. He drafted a ton of guards, right? 4 actually. So I don't know. It's tough because I feel like if Cam is, and I kind of agree with LB, if Cam signs a tenure and just plays on that, I don't know how they use him or if they use him, right, to kind of affect the value. So he might be in a similar situation to what Kuminga was in, to where Steve Kerr wasn't playing him when everybody knew that he should be playing him. So it is in the end of the day, it's going to be tough for Cam, whether he signs it or not, I believe.
Let me ask this question. I kind of open it up to everybody. To me, the offer that they've made to him, extending the qualifying offer, and then offering him the $14.1 million per year for 2 years, that tells me one thing for certain: they don't want him here, and they want to trade him. Does anyone disagree with that? That they want to trade Cam Thomas?
Yeah, I do. I disagree.
Who said that? Who? Ice said that? That's
Yep.
all right. What's up? Go ahead. Why such a low offer then? That he's not going to sign.
Well, the low offer is because the market. It's not because they don't want him. It's just there's no, like I'm saying, there's no market for him. So Josh Giddey, right? He wanted 30. Kuminga wants 30. I believe Cam wants 30. They all want 30, right? Yeah. So Chicago offered Josh 20, and that's where the negotiation stopped at. They don't want to go past 20. Now the Nets offered Cam 14.
20 PER?
Yes, 20 a year, and he turned that down. That's why they stalled. So the Nets offered Cam 14, which is $6 million different. So I'm thinking between them two, is somewhere in between 16 and 20, and I don't think they're going to get past that. That's why I said I don't think it's not that they don't want him. I just think the number, they can't come to agreement on what number to give those type guys.
And I think they would have offered, and this is nothing to do with basketball, but I think if Giddey hadn't had that scandal, he probably would have already had a contract. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, to be fair, who's worth more in the free market, Josh Giddey or Cam Thomas?
I think Josh Giddey is worth more,
and he's not getting $20 million.
And also,
right?
let's talk about Kuminga for a second. I mean, he's been on that team long enough, man. Just sign the qualifying offer. Just play 1 year at a cut rate low. even if Steve doesn't play you or whatever, we know you can play. So he's eventually going to get a lot of money once he's free out of there. I wouldn't, if I was Kuminga, I wouldn't sign a multiple deal with Golden State even if they gave me the whole 30.
All right, so let me ask you this: if Brooklyn steps in and says, "We're going to let Cam walk, and we'll give you $24 million, Kuminga, sign with us," Golden State can't really match that, right? They can't. They give you $24 million.
Yeah,
they can match it, but it will strap them.
They could, but they could in theory, but they can't in actuality because they don't use them. How are they going to give them $24 million when they don't even have rotational minutes for them on a consistent basis?
But why underwhelming 7th pick, underwhelming lottery pick? You willing to pay him all that money? He was underwhelming.
Who?
All right, what do you want to do with the money,
Kuminga?
Reese?
You think
Yeah, I'm
Kuminga
saying
was
Kuminga
underwhelming?
Kuminga's not underwhelming to me. He
has not played at an all-star level at any point. I like Kuminga. I want him.
Yeah, he's a good prospect.
Wrong, LB. When has he ever played at an all-star level for a prolonged period of time? He hasn't.
Ooh.
Like Kuminga.
He hasn't. He hasn't had the opportunity to really
play. That's what I'm saying. I agree.
So with Kuminga's news is that
he does pay him that much money though?
Hold on, Bree. For what Kuminga's news is that he does not want to play for the Warriors at all next season. He wants whatever contract.
So sign the 1 year and just bounce.
No, he don't want to sign. I mean, yeah, he signed. He want to get signed and trade. Whatever happens, he wants to be signed and trade immediately. Whatever contract he signs, he wants to be moved. And there's only 2 teams that says they want to grab him right now. Sacramento.
But you see what he's doing, right?
He's trying to get out.
But what he's doing is he's being greedy, and he's saying, "I still want you to sign me for the 30, but I want you to trade me by January 1st." But I'm saying, then just sign the qualifying, and you'll get all that money back sooner or later if you're really that good.
Yeah. Here's what I'm saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but if you're Kuminga, I think you're in a different situation than Giddey and Cam Thomas in the sense that there's a team out there who's willing to pay you this year. It's the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no team out there willing to pay Giddey or Cam their quote. There might be someone out there willing to pay Kuminga his quote, which is the Nets.
There might be more than one team. That's why I'm saying.
Who else has got the cap space?
I'm saying nobody this year. But I'm saying, to me, if I was Kuminga's agent, I would say sign the qualifying offer. Either Steve is going to play you or he's not going to play you. But the whole NBA knows you can play. So then you'll just become a free agent and you'll make your money back then.
If I offered him 3 years, $72 million, the Brooklyn Nets, I'm playing Shumbach. If I offered him 3 years, $72 million, and you were his agent, you would say not to accept that, to take the qualifying offer?
I'd have to look and see, because I think he's more than a $24 million guy going forward.
You better have some Jalen Brunson confidence in yourself if you're gonna pass up on that contract. You could be right, maybe. Yeah.
See, LBL, the thing is, what you think is what do you know, right? What is the NBA? If he hasn't got an offer for that much, why would you? And that's the problem.
No, but that's because of the money, right? That's because of so many guys not having money, right?
Right.
Yeah, most of the league don't have cap space.
Right. So the problem is, with you doing that, right? You're gonna set the market for the other guys that high because of what you think. But what you saying, like, what is the market saying to give these guys? You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to end up being another way to overpay somebody and reset the market for everybody and strap everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's already tight, but you're going to make it even worse by doing that.
Not by signing the 1 year.
By Ice, I don't know if we're looking at, and now I think what LBL is talking about is league wide. He's saying league wide, the league believes that Kuminga can be a high end starter on a franchise. But
I think so.
When you talk about the other teams, do they believe that about Cam Thomas? Do they believe that about Giddey? You know, do they believe that?
Yeah, but the money comes along with your belief, and it comes along with the market. You know what I'm saying? If it was that belief, right, is what I'm saying. If the Warriors believe that, or other teams believe that, the Warriors could sign and trade him immediately, right, and get whatever. but it's not.
I mean, look at the money. Look at the money that they just gave to Jimmy Butler, right? They know that Kuminga could play, but for whatever reason, between him and the coach, it's not going to work out.
You said the name though, LBO. You said Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
said,
but I'm
Jimmy.
saying, isn't he like 36 years old or something now?
You said Jimmy Butler though. Like you said Jimmy. That's
I
that.
did say a name.
Yeah, exactly. Between
But on the same token, though, the
Kuminga, you
Warriors
said
are
Jimmy
doing their
Butler.
future a disservice with this.
Correct. They are. But when you go name for name, you know what I'm saying? You saying Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? Mike for
Yeah.
the money. You gonna say give me Jimmy Butler?
And this is just me, and it's just me. Me right now, I wouldn't take Jimmy Butler over Kuminga right now, personally.
Me
Like
neither.
Me neither.
if Brooklyn had the opportunity to bring in both players, I would take Kuminga first.
Yeah,
Right?
because you don't got Steph. You don't got Steph. So with Steph, you want Kuminga, who's been on your roster, or you gonna look somewhere else and go get Jimmy?
They
That's the
I mean,
wanted
but
Kevin Durant,
problem.
I
but
mean,
that fell through.
Priest, but
You know what I'm
but
saying?
Priest, but I think Priest, we already had this conversation plenty of times about the Kuminga situation, bro. Like, I think the problem is like these restricted dudes is thinking they getting $5 million more than what they actually is probably gonna get on their respective teams. That's number one. Number two, I've been on Front Street saying, bro, like, yo, the Warriors gonna rule the day they let Kuminga walk for nothing. That's my
They
thing, bro.
will.
Like, they will rule the day.
If they don't come up with a package to get him traded, right? They will when they see what he does. Because we saw what he did versus Minnesota, a great defensive team in the playoffs,
That's a fact.
right? Right.
I'm
Minnesota is a
on board
top
with you,
three
bro.
defensive team with Oklahoma City and probably
Right.
um I want to see who I can't think of who maybe Boston was up there, but they were one of the top defensive teams in the league, and Kuminga was giving them 30, and it wasn't hard for him.
All
It
right, so
wasn't
So
at all.
with that,
and he
Sacramento.
was the only player that was able to slow down Anthony Edwards.
So with
That
that
True.
being said,
too.
right,
True.
Sacramento and the Suns are the only two teams right now making offers to the Warriors, and the Warriors don't want to trade them unless they get Keegan Murray or someone else, and I don't think Sacramento want to give up Keegan Murray.
Bro, they
Because
come on,
teams
bro.
don't really want to give up assets because next year he'd probably be free. You can get him for no assets.
Yeah.
True. That
Yeah.
is true. Because as opposed to signing them because of his draft
So
and
if I give you Keegan Murray and he only signs the 10-year unless Golden State
You
gives him a
know,
multiple year deal,
you know why, and then you know why the Giddy deal isn't done, even though it's moved up way past the other two. You know why the
Mhm.
Giddy deal hasn't done? Only because of that's the backlash from the other signings, from the DeMar, from the other signings. Like
Right.
that's what it really is.
I got a question, bro. Like,
They
yo,
know
what's
he's
the
really worth whatever he's asking because of what he does for that team. I'm not saying
right?
30 million so he's better than someone making,
he's a triple double threat every
but
time he comes on the court.
That is a fact.
for that team, he's worth the money. But they dragging their feet because they got raked over the coals for the other deals.
I got a
That's
question. Since we on restricted free agents, bro, what's the word on Quentin Grimes? Anybody know?
Same situation. None of them getting paid till one of them signs the contract. I haven't heard his offers yet, but he's in the same
I heard
situation.
he was looking for 25 a year, bro. Like, I'm like, huh?
It's the same thing. They
and
all
and
within
that
the
is
same
that is
range.
true. That is true, Leaf, because I'm looking at, like, even if we look at all three and then we include Quentin Grimes in it, I'm like, okay, so Kuminga, you were a part-time starter sometimes. Cam, you were a starter. Josh, you were a starter on two different teams. And now I'm looking at Grimes like, and you want this for what?
Kuminga is the only like just strictly accomplishments. Kuminga is the only person that can set the scene. He's gonna have to get paid first. The reason being is because like it's sort of the same
Him and
situation.
Giddy has more value around the league.
True, that is
Now
true.
All
the
That's
right,
a fact.
problem is
I
that the
gotta wrap
league
this,
doesn't
guys.
have any money.
I
All
gotta wrap
right.
this. I
All
gotta
right.
wrap this. I gotta wrap. Appreciate y'all. I gotta wrap. Leaf.
All right,
Reese,
all right, all right.
LBL,
But
Ice. Appreciate
All right.
y'all. I gotta wrap this. Thank y'all. It's
Hey,
July
no problem,
25th,
Gary.
2025 from Texas to the world. Thank y'all. God bless.